Good morning. We are off and running, and we welcome you into Tuesday morning. It's the Tom Barfield Show presented by Toe King. Gary Hoffman and his team, 666-5484. That's a 254 area code, 666-5484. If you need roadside assistance, you know where to turn. You turn to Gary Hoffman and the team at Toe King. Glad to have you with us as we get ready to talk sports live and local, just the way you like it. Remember what we say. It's sports about Central Texas, and it's sports that Central Texans want to talk about. Boy, that's just kind of the way we do things around here. Glad to have you with us as we get going here. Good morning to Lark Smith. He's way over there.
Yeah. What is that, about 12 feet, maybe that much?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I got new shoes for my truck yesterday.
Excuse me?
I got some new tires on my truck yesterday.
Okay.
And while I was there, some young lady had her vehicle towed in by Toe King.
And they probably did a wonderful job.
They did an outstanding job.
That's good.
I just sit back and watched what was going on. The driver was very courteous to her, and made sure that everything was right for her, so she could get her flat fixed or whatever her problem was. But no, they did an excellent job.
And that's what they do.
Absolutely.
And again, we talk about it all the time, whether it's, if you got a unicycle or a mini bike, or if you got, an 18-wheeler, or if you're pulling one of those big long windmill things or whatever, they can take care of you. I mean, they got the equipment. I was sitting there thinking about maybe a space shuttle rocket or something. They could probably get that to wherever it needs. They can get that down to NASA if they need to.
Yeah, or just right out to McGregor to SpaceX.
Yeah, they can go out. Yeah. They can go out there, take one of those rockets out there. So anyway, anything exciting going on in your world?
Just getting ready for high school baseball this weekend. McGregor, mid.
And I understand that is a terrific ballpark.
It is. I've been there a couple of times just to watch a game. Matter of fact, I think I also called a game there. McLennan played there. Who'd they meet there? North Central or somebody. They meet there a couple of years ago. Did a game from there, live stream games from there. So yeah, it's a really nice facility. The people are just fantastic. They'll bend over backward for you.
I like those kind of folks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Make your job a lot easier when you're not having to fight to get a place to set up and all of those type of things. So
yeah, I sent an email to let them know we're coming, and they said, great to have you. We're looking forward to it. And then I sent another email and said, do I need to give you names of people to,
right
at the gate, or do we just tell them we're here with, midway.tv
or midwaytv.com?
Yeah. Either one. And he sent back, sure, that'll work.
So good. They just kind of roll with it, right? I mean, hey, come on in, make yourself at home. Yeah. I like those kind.
Absolutely.
They're fun. Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I did yard work yesterday. With my schedule, I can't do it on the weekend. No. It's not, I'm doing baseball every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Have been since the middle of February. So I got to find that window where I can get it done. Plus, it was wet because of the rain. So I got it done yesterday, and then realized that I'd made a mistake. And I guess we need to get somebody on here to teach me how to do this. We may do that later this spring or early summer, but we need to get some, somebody that
gardening tips.
Yeah, a nursery expert. And I got just the person.
Okay.
In fact, he does a magazine. He absolutely does a magazine. It's called Texas Gardener, I think.
Okay.
I went to high school with him. My good buddy, Jay White.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Jay.
Yeah. John Sterling White is his name. Why do I remember that? I don't know, but we call him Jay. Anyway, I trimmed a couple of rose bushes, right? And I think I trimmed them too late in the season, and I killed them.
Murderer.
And they had so I had to dig them up out of the front area of my
flower bed.
Flower bed. I've got two in the front of the house, one on one side of the door, one on the other, so now it looks goofy. At least it does to me. I'm glad I don't have two dead roses sitting there now, because that was ugly. But now it looks silly that have that big blank space. So I don't know what to do. Now, my wife says, why don't we do this, this, and this? And what she means is, why don't you do this, this, and this? And I'm like, hey, knock yourself out if you want to go do that. I mean, I don't know. So
more work than you care to do.
Well, and tell me when I'm going to do it. 3 a.m, get some floodlights out there, and
she may not have meant just immediately. She may have meant like after the baseball season's over.
Well, then it's hot.
Excuses.
The only thing I'm going to do when it's hot is play golf.
Yeah, excuses.
So anyway, let's. You know what we failed to do, or I failed to do yesterday.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Is talk about your series with the Midway Panthers against Duncanville last week.
Mm-hmm.
You had a game. Was it Saturday or
it was
Friday night?
Friday night.
Yeah. In fact, I sat in my living room because the Baylor game was rained out.
Mm-hmm.
I sat in my living room, brought midway.tv or midwaytv.com up on my television.
There you go.
And watched the game.
Uh-huh.
And you called a no-hitter where the Midway Panthers did not get a hit, but they won the baseball game.
Yeah, they did.
You've got to try to do that. I mean,
it seems that way.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Walk us through that.
Okay. Mark Mariscal, the pitcher for Duncanville, not an overpowering pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Midway was putting the ball in play, but they kept hitting things at people. But I think it was the 4th inning, top of the 4th inning, he hit the leadoff batter, Tyler Scythe. They bunted Scythe to second base. Max Mayton hit a ground ball to the shortstop near the second base bag. That's behind the runner, so the runner went to third.
Okay.
Very next pitch, third base umpire calls a balk.
Wow, a balk.
And that's how the winning run scored. That's the only run in the entire game.
Was there a big brouhaha argument about it?
None whatsoever.
Did he balk?
I wasn't paying that much attention to know.
Very nice. Okay.
That's the umpire's job, not mine.
Okay. I'm just curious because you like to umpire from behind the microphone. You have for years.
So do you, but
no question.
That comes from what, you about 30 years of umpiring,
at least
about 10 or 12.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But no, that's how the only run scored. Meanwhile, Hudson Pierce for Midway.
He's a sophomore, right?
He's a sophomore. He'd get in trouble, then get a couple of strikeouts to get out of it. Then he'd get in trouble again, get a couple of more strikeouts to get out of it. Getting on another trouble, get a double play ball to get out of it. I mean, he was whistling through the graveyard all night.
But he got it done.
He gave up 3 hits and still had the shutout and wins 1-0.
If they would have lost and you'd had to come back the next day.
Yes.
They had plenty of pitching, right? Midway has plenty
Midway's
of
got
pitching.
plenty of pitching, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler Scythe can come in from center field and throw. They got a sophomore, Logan Prelup, who's an excellent pitcher. Matter of fact, they basically use him as their closer. Midway, from my way of thinking, because of the pitching depth that they have, I think they have a really good shot to make another run to the state championship game.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine going back to back? And what if softball did the same thing? You just don't see where every day where the same school has the state champion in softball and baseball. And you've got that right now with Midway. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
What if they went back to back and defended both of them?
Yeah. Plus that
I got to believe that's never happened. I don't know. I haven't researched it, but
neither.
That would be an unbelievable accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And plus last year was the first year that the UIL separated, Division I and Division II in all levels, except Class A. And so that's the first year that they ever had a 6A Division I state champion in baseball and softball, and both of them came from the same school.
How about that? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what's going on there. I have our good friend, the late Butch Henry, was a longtime member of the Northwest Optimist Club.
Yes.
They do a scholarship in Butch's name, which I think is remarkable.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. And they're going to give that scholarship away to some students today. And they've asked me to come talk a little bit about Butch and maybe tell some stories. And I'm like, well, I've got to find a couple that we can share with everybody. And so we're going to do that today.
Yeah.
And, you and I were talking, Butch was such a unique character.
Absolutely.
And the stories that I'm going to tell, they're probably not going to be funny.
Because they're going to be out of context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're funny to us.
Yeah.
They were hilarious to us.
Well, you did play-by-play with him. I did play-by-play with him on Waco ISD TV. And whenever there was going to be a first down measurement,
chili dog,
he would always bet a chili dog.
No, a chili dog.
A chili dog.
Yeah.
on, whether it was or wasn't a first down.
Yeah.
And there was one season I was about 6 or 7 chili dogs ahead of him.
That's a party.
Yeah. And at the end of the season, does he bring me a chili dog? No, he brings me a package of hot dogs and says, here.
See, and everybody's probably going, well, so what? But to us, that was fun because you had to know him.
Yeah. And so there was one year, he always talked about whenever a player got a Charlie horse cramp or whatever, they're not drinking enough pickle juice.
Is that what it was?
He was always talking about, they need more pickle juice.
Yeah.
Well, there was one August day, one of the early season, it was like 102 degrees, and we did our open for Waco ISD, and I handed him a bottle of pickle juice.
Yeah,
I bet you're going to need this. So.
He was real pleased with that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to do that today. Look forward to visiting with the Optimist Club today, and at their, I don't know if it's weekly, monthly luncheon.
It's
weekly luncheon. So we'll do that today. Congratulations. Let me get this. Congratulations to Lucas Davenport, Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. Tice Armstrong, Player of the Week, and co-newcomer of the week in the Big 12.
Yeah. Well,
Tice is on a tear.
Yes.
With the home runs.
He's about to get the single season home run record.
Isn't it ironic that the gentleman that holds the record,
Charlie Carter,
is a transfer from the University of Texas, played here, I think, just 1 year. And Tice Armstrong is a transfer from the University of Texas at Arlington.
Yeah. Charlie Carter played at McLennan before he played at UT.
Yeah. Well, so he only got the 1 year at Baylor, and Tice Armstrong is only going to have 1 year at Baylor.
Yeah.
But he's a beloved teammate. They love him.
Oh, well, heck yeah. When he hits 3 grand slams in the first game of the year.
But you know what? You know what he did that night? That night, he thanked all of his teammates. I mean, it wasn't about he made it about his team.
Somebody had to be on base for him to get a grand slam.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations there. Baylor is on the road today. They're at Texas State, and we'll talk more about that a little later on. All right, coming up on the program today, we're going to visit with Steve Sebesta, the head baseball coach at Troy. And they are often cooking in the playoffs. And we'll also visit with Brice Cherry. He's coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're brought to you today by Lake Waco Golf Club, a private facility, and it's nestled on the north side of the lake. Wonderful people. Great situation there. You got an 18-hole executive par 3. You got the regular 18-hole golf course. And, man, you got a swimming pool. You got fishing that you can take part in if that's your thing. It's a really cool place to hang out. I mean, there's always going to be some dominoes being played. And I mean, it really is a lot of fun. And you can check it out today at lakewacogc.com, lakewacogc.com. You need a tee time. You better call right now because I'm telling you, they book on their tee times. 254-756-2161, 254-756-2161. Coming up on the Thursday edition of the program, we'll talk with Jones Mitchell from Lake Waco Golf Club, so keep that in mind. But coming up next, Ed.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org. Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatments, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
All right, you're back with us as we welcome into the program Brice Cherry from the Waco Tribune-Herald. Brice, good morning. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing good. A lot of things going on. You know, last week, I guess maybe even right after we had you on the program, the news was breaking that Jerome Tang was coming back to Baylor to be the associate head coach with Scott Drew. First of all, I don't think anybody's shocked by that, but that hasn't really become official, has it?
Baylor did finally put out a tweet late last week. I don't think they've put out a release, but they have put out a tweet where they were like, "Welcome home" or something like that. So I mean, they've essentially confirmed it. But and Scott has done some interviews where he's talked about it as well. So yeah, I mean, it's out there now.
And that's a pretty good 1-2 combination, isn't it? And it has been for years. And I think this is probably a natural thing for Scott and for Jerome and for the program.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, two guys that know each other well. I remember when Coach Tang lost his job at K-State. We of course talked to Scott about that. At the time, Baylor was about to play K-State and actually lost that game. And of course, he expressed his, sadness that Jerome had lost his job. But, we asked him at the time, might he end up back here next year? Because that's the other thing. Scott had an opening on his bench. So he was like, look, right now we're just thinking about Coach Tang and the staff there. And then he goes, but he knows his way around Waco. So even at the time, I think he was already starting to have that thought, oh, well, you could come back here, and it'll be interesting with two associate head coaches because they do have Ron Sanchez already on staff. but as long as they sort of figure out the hierarchy there, I think it'll be fine. It doesn't hurt having several guys that have been head coaches, I think, because they understand that element to it. And so now you've got Drew, Tang, and Sanchez, who've all been college head coaches. And, of course, Scott gets thrown out of games all the time. So, I mean, you're going to need somebody to step up when he gets that inevitable second technical.
So just look into your crystal ball here, Brice, what does that hierarchy look like in your opinion?
I think they probably continue to let Sanchez run the defense as sort of the DC, so to speak. That was what Virginia was known for when he was there, and even before he was there, when he was an assistant there. So yeah, I think you let him run the defense. I think maybe you let Tang be sort of the guy that interacts with the players and has those relationships. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crossover, but I do have questions, and I want to ask Scott about just who is the number 2, just because, I joked about it, but you never know when, a coach will have to step up for another coach in the absence of the head coach. And so, you kind of want to know how that flow chart goes for Baylor. But Tang is known for recruiting and having good relationships. Obviously, it went south there at K-State at the end. And, I think it was just a frustrating season, and he let his emotions kind of boil over. But I think this will be a great fit for him to return to a place he knows and he loves.
All right, let's move on. A great event coming up Saturday night at the Herd Center. I think we both love this thing. This is the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Nice class, and just if you're a high school football fan, this is a great event.
Oh, absolutely. We have a board that you're on, that I'm on, that is just a bunch of guys that love high school football, and I think that's what makes it so fun. We really do care about this sport and care about the history and preserving that history. And yes, every year I'm always just sort of blown away by the class that we induct. This year you do have a local flavor in there with Alfred Anderson, who of course went to Richfield High School. No longer around, but keeping that the Richfield Rams alive there with his induction. I'm sure that'll be fun to kind of go down memory lane with him, and went on to play at Baylor and in the NFL. So to me, he's one of the headliners. But you've got, like you said, a great class all the way around, including some. Every year we induct 2 head coaches in the Eddie Joseph coaching category, and got a couple of great ones there. Terry Cron, of course, won 3 state titles at 3 different schools. Yeah, craziness. I mean, never been done before. And then Chris Ketting, just built a powerhouse up at Canadian, and I got to talk to his son the other day and talk about just his journey. And they up in the Panhandle, Chris Ketting is a legend, and of course they named the stadium after him. So, and then you've got a couple in the Dave Campbell special contributor category too that'll be fun. And one of those is Dallas Houston, who I've joked should be called Houston Dallas. I always we're gonna put those 2 together. Let's put the right one on top. But Brownwood legend, called called everything there for over 50 years, including Gordon Woods games. And so that'll be really cool. And then Mike Garrick from the Texas Farm Bureau, who's done a whole lot for Texas high school football, including the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying the other day, if you go to AT&T Stadium, everywhere you look, it's Texas Farm Bureau because of their buy-in to not only to our Hall of Fame, but to high school football in general. So, I mean, they're all in when it comes to Texas schoolboy football. Hey, you mentioned your Astros. You've got a problem at catcher, don't you? Diaz is down.
Yeah, I got a problem a lot of places. What are you talking about?
That'd be nice.
You want to focus on catcher? Sure. At least we're not talking about the pitching. Pitching. I think I told you a week or two ago that, I mean, you could make a lineup out of everybody that's on the injured list. I mean, a legit, 1 through 9 batting order, and plus probably an entire pitching staff too. It's ridiculous how many injuries they've stacked up. And this is why also, so one of the recurring stories I saw all throughout the offseason regarding the Astros was infield surplus. They've got this infield surplus. What are they going to do? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, there is no way that one of these guys is not going to get hurt. You know what I call an infield surplus? I call that depth. Is it not good to have 5 guys for 4 spots? I mean, so that has come into play too. And Jeremy Pena was hurt right at the outset of the season, so they stopped talking about that infield surplus after that.
Well, and you're lucky because the American League's not very good. I mean, that's so you can hang around. You can be bad and still be fine because the American League, minus the Blue Jays and the Yankees, not very good. High school softball and baseball, we were just talking about this. It's obviously in play that both Midway boys and girls could go back-to-back and win state championships again, and that is just crazy to think about.
It is crazy to think about. Now, I do think you have to at least note that, I think you guys talked about it, that last year was the first year of the split division. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any of these coaches would deny that that makes it a little easier, okay? I mean, I remember when Rappaport won the basketball title last year in 2025, and it was the first one in Waco in a quarter century. We hadn't had a basketball boys state champion in that long, and they acknowledged Coach Rice acknowledged that if it were not the split division format, it might have been a little tougher. That's not taking away anything from the state championship at all, because first of all, we're in Texas. We're big enough to have 11, 12 state champions, 1A, they still do 1 just because, it's a little tougher, especially like baseball, softball. You have fewer schools that play it. But they do 2 in 1A football. So, I mean, could they sweep? It's in play. And I like what you guys were talking about. I heard a little bit of it about the pitching, because to me, that's what's going to get it done. I've seen both teams. I've gotten a chance to see Hudson Pierce pitch. And to me, his development has been huge for Midway, because they lost some great pitching off last year's team with Colt Holmes and Brady Quinn and those guys. So they needed somebody to step up alongside Brody Potts. And so you've got, 2 really strong 1-2 starting pitchers there, mm-hmm. and then some depth behind them. And then on the softball side, Peyton Phillip is just special. I mean, she just is. She's a Baylor commit, still got a year after this. She was at Crawford her freshman year, Super Syntex Newcomer of the Year that year. Last year, she comes over to Midway, leads them to a state championship. And I just remember the last time I covered Midway softball, I covered another team a day or two after that, and it was a good smaller classification team. And I just remember going, wow, that girl doesn't throw nearly as hard as Peyton Phillip. Like you just couldn't help but compare. And I wasn't trying to throw shade, but it was just kind of an eye-opening thing to go, yeah, she's special. She's special. So she's going to give them a chance in any game.
This is a fun week. You got Axtell and Bosqueville playing on the baseball side, and we're going to talk. We'll talk a little bit about that series coming up a little later on in the week. And then you guys did an article the other day on in the Waco Trib on Troy High School and Steve Sebesta's team. And my gosh, they haven't lost to a 3A school this year. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 losses all season. Axtell's another one with only 2 losses all season. I declared Troy and Axtell, different classifications, as our best hope to get to Dell Diamond and maybe win it all. I mean, I think you got to throw Midway in there too, but yeah, Coach Sebesta's done it a long time, and I know Michael Haig has covered Troy for us this season, and he came back to me and he goes, "They're good. Yeah, they're really good." I think the night he saw them, they run ruled West, which we know West has always got good baseball out over there. Mm-hmm. So Troy's got it going pretty well, and just like that little note, we had it in a story last week, but the fact that they haven't lost to a 3A all year says, to me that they've got a bunch that absolutely can get to Dell Diamond, maybe win it. Obviously, as you progress, the competition is going to get tougher and tougher, but it's a good group.
Final thought for you, and that's Central Texas golf. I mean, boys did fine. Lorena had a champion, and then on the girls' side, we got several opportunities for champions.
Yeah, they're playing today, probably right now, and Crawford has a girl, Avery Bolgiano, who's in the mix. She was 3rd going into today in 2A, and then Hannah Antunes from China Spring. This is her senior year. She's been top 5 every year of her career. She was the state runner-up as a freshman. She'll play golf at East Texas A&M, and her dad is a longtime golf coach, so she's gotten good instruction over the years. But she was 4th going into today. So yeah, we've got a chance to maybe bring home some more hardware, and that tournament wraps up today. And then, guess what? Right on its heels, starting Thursday, is the state tennis tournament down in San Antonio. I mean, this is May. I mean, they call it May-cember because it's just crazy with all the things that go on.
Exactly. Hey, Brice, talk a little bit about the podcast, what you guys got coming up on the podcast, and what's ahead for readers in the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Yeah, we just had a new podcast drop, I think yesterday. It was one we recorded last week, but one of the things we talked about on that pod was, is it tougher to win an individual state title or a team state title? And we sort of got into that discussion. And one of the things I said was, look, wherever you sort of fall on this, a state championship is a state championship. And if you've done it on a team, or if you've done it in an individual sport like golf or tennis or track, it's special either way. But yes, it was sort of interesting to get into that debate. So you can go check that out now. We have plans to do a pod, hopefully with Midway's Lathan Wissington, who recently committed to Notre Dame. We don't have a lot of Central Texas kids going to play for the Fighting Irish, so it'll be good to talk to Lathan and get his thoughts on that. And then you mentioned it, the High School Football Hall of Fame. We've got a feature story every day on inductees to that. We'll have state tennis coverage. We'll have high school baseball, high school softball, Baylor tennis, Baylor baseball. I mean, it's May, man. It's friggin' nuts. And then I'm actually taking Friday off, if you can believe it or not.
Stop it.
But I'm going down to Aggieland because I've got one graduating. So
how about that?
Fun times.
Congratulations. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Brice, as always, thanks. Appreciate your time, man.
All right.
Seeing you around.
Yep. Thanks. Appreciate it.
See you later. That's Brice Cherry for the Waco Trib. They do a great job. I mean, they do a fantastic job. Hey, coming up, we were just talking about Troy and Steve Sebesta and his team. We're going to talk with Coach Sebesta here in just a couple of minutes and talk about the next series in line here as they knocked out Palmer to move on, and we'll do that here in just a couple of minutes. We are brought to you by Morrison's Gifts. We're at 4312 West Waco Drive at the Brazos Square Shopping Center. Mother's Day is just around the corner this Sunday. Guys, you need a gift, you know where to go. Just walk in, say, Sally, here's the drill. I need something. Here's my budget. And then you go sit down in the corner someplace, get out of her way, and let her do her thing. 4312 West Waco Drive. It is Morrison's Gifts. 47 years in the biz, man. That's a cool thing. They're right down from Jason's Deli in the Brazos Square Shopping Center. And tell them we sent you by.
Since 1996, Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers at 18th and Herring has been serving Waco's best burger. There's nothing better than a delicious burger cooked just the way you like it, with garden fresh toppings on a buttered bun. Add tots, fries, curly fries, or onion rings for a perfect meal. So what are you waiting on? How about Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers today? Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Double R Old Fashioned Hamburgers. And don't forget to ask about Double R's catering.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Shopping for insurance shouldn't feel like a guessing game or a root canal. At Barfield Show Insurance Group, we make it easy and maybe even a little fun. Need auto, home, life, or business insurance? We've got you covered. Literally. We work with multiple top-rated companies to find the right fit for you so you get great coverage at a price that won't make you wince. Because our goal is simple. The highest quality insurance at lowest price possible. Call Barfield Show Insurance Group today at 469-579-4982 for your free quote. Better coverage, better rates, better call them.
Family owned and operated, Jasper's Barbecue is serving up Texas-style barbecue meats and sandwiches and all the fixins. Enjoy mouth-watering brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and don't forget the potato salad and barbecue beans. Located in Waco on Elm Street, right off of I-35, open Tuesday through Saturday 10 until 2 or until the food runs out. Stop by today and enjoy the best barbecue around. Voted one of the best barbecue joints by Texas Monthly. That's Jasper's Barbecue in Waco. You won't leave hungry.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
All right, you're back with us as we continue on the program. Let's talk some Troy Trojans baseball. We welcome in the longtime head coach of the Trojans, Steve Sebesta. Steve, good morning. Thank you, my friend, for being on the program.
Good morning. Thank you.
I guess this has been a fun ride. 29-2. Your only losses: Salado 4A, Richmond Randall 5A. This has to have been a tremendous ride for you and your club.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun group of kids to be around. Obviously, the winning makes it fun. Kind of going back and talking about that Salado game, that was a competitive game. That was a well-played baseball game, and then we got thumped by Richmond Randall, and that kind of woke us up a little bit.
Talk a little bit about the program at Troy. I mean, it's nothing unusual. I think even Brice Cherry alluded to it here just a couple of minutes ago, that winning in baseball at Troy has kind of become a habit, hasn't it?
It has, and it's kind of contagious. And Troy's a great baseball town. They support their baseball. Our kids are great. Our kids play a lot of baseball. We have good players right now, so that helps. But we have a lot of tradition, and when you get that going, good things are going to happen.
Talk about a little bit about your team and in the personality of your team, strengths and things you really like about the way your club is going right now.
Well, I think it starts with our pitching. We got two lefties in Tucker Creel and Colt Copeland, and then we got a big righty in Casey Martinez. So I think that's where it starts. We're pretty solid, especially 1 through 6, 1 through 7 in the lineup, and then we have some guys at the bottom of the lineup that are great role players. Some years you have good hitters, some years you don't. Some years you have good pitchers, some years you don't. But I think this year it's the pitching and the hitting that are assets, and I think that's what gets us where we're at.
You're averaging just slightly under 10 runs a ball game. I mean, that plays at any level, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We can hit, and we can hit with power, which is a little bit different for us. Looking back 5 years ago, we were a team that had to bunt and had to run a lot, and we didn't have a whole lot of hitters, so we had to manufacture runs and create runs. And the team we got now, we're almost scared to steal bases because we don't want to run into outs. We want to let those guys hit and kind of produce runs instead of create runs. So it's a little different team this year.
Visiting with Steve Sebesta from Troy High School. They're 29-2, and they got Academy coming up this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday. When you look at Academy, what do you see in their ball club?
Well, the first thing you're going to see is the big arm, right? You're going to see the Chipman kid, and he's going to throw, and he's going to throw with velo, and he's a heck of a competitor. And to be honest with you, he wants to get it on and get after it. So we're going to have to be able to compete against that and compete against that mindset. But then on the flip side, on the offensive side, they want to bunt a lot, and they want to run, and they want to create runs kind of like we used to. So that gets scary too. They have two other good pitchers that are quality, that those guys are going to be tough. But the way they try to create runs and the way they're aggressive, they're well coached. Coach Bell does a great job over there, and he's got those guys bought in, and I think it's going to be a heck of a series. If you're not doing anything in this area, we're going to be at Temple College, and I really think it's going to be nothing but chaos. So it'll be a good time out there.
When you look at their club, is this obviously it's one of the better ones? Is this the best club you faced at the 3A level this year, in your opinion?
I would think so at the 3A level, and of course you're in a 3-game series, so that makes it a little bit different. But you got a big arm over there that's a D1 commit, or has the opportunity to go play Division I baseball, and competing against that's not going to be easy.
Steve, when you look at your ball club, back talking about your club, just the overall product that you have, you mentioned pitching, you mentioned defense, you mentioned hitting. In your time at Troy, is this your best ball club that you've been able to assemble?
I don't know. They're all different. We've had some really good ones, to be honest with you. And we've had some really good teams, and we've had to face other really good teams. The team we had that lost to Malakoff, I believe, in 2021 was a really good team. We just ran into the state champion in round 3. And to be honest with you, those guys were built different. And the last 2 years, we had really solid ball clubs, and we ran into a good Franklin team both of those years and came up short at the end of game 3. And, hopefully this team can get over the hump. And we got a long way to go before, we start saying we're a great team.
It's interesting that you bring that up. There are coaches that will tell you that you don't know what round you're playing for the state championship. The state championship game is obviously later on down the line, but you could be playing for the state championship in your by-district round. That's an interesting thought.
It is, and I was just sitting there listening to y'all before we came on talk about big school and small school, and yes, there's benefits to it. But there's also tough matchups early on, just depending on where you're at. I don't know that benefited us or Franklin the last 2 years. We ran into each other in round 2, and I really don't think either of us wanted that. So it kind of goes both ways.
Visiting with Steve Sebesta. So when you break down this final thought for you, when you break down this Academy series, is it baseball 101? Is it about pitching? I mean, what's this series come down to?
Well, I think it's going to come down to who plays the best. Obviously, I know it's kind of cliche, but who makes the least amount of mistakes. Both teams are going to have good pitching. Both teams are going to put the ball in play. I think there's a small room for error, kind of like in the Franklin series. I think the team that wins is probably going to get a break along the way. I think whoever handles the environment the best is going to give themselves a chance for success. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the stands. I think it's going to be chaos. I think it's going to be a big-time baseball atmosphere, and it's going to be a lot to handle, but we're ready.
I said final thought, but I lied. 22-game winning streak. Does that add any extra oomph or pressure to your kids?
No, I don't think so. I think our kids are day to day, man. I don't think they would even know that. So we just come out and practice, and then we go home and do something else, and then we come back the next day and practice and do something else. We're so routine oriented. They might know. Heck, I don't know.
But
I don't think they get into all that.
Right?
Huh?
I said, and the community certainly knows that you're riding a 22-game winning streak at 29-2.
Yeah, I don't look at that stuff too much. I know we've won a lot of games, but I don't look at that kind of stuff a whole lot. I don't count them up and do all that. We're just trying to figure out what's best for practice today, and who's going to pitch tomorrow, and that's kind of what we look at more so than what's happened in the past.
Steve, thanks. Appreciate it. Best of luck against the Bumblebees this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in Temple, 6 o'clock. Like you said, if there's nothing going on, man, there's a great series to go check out, and it should be a lot of fun. We appreciate your time today.
All right. Thank you.
See you later. That's Steve Sebesta. I've known him forever. Lark, they win. I mean, their bad years are good years, if that makes sense. Their down years are really, really good years. That's just a place where they win. At West, he brought up West. That's they win a lot of baseball games in West. I mean, there's just places where you win, and that's one of them. And he's done a wonderful job of building that mindset and that structure and everything that goes into winning at Troy baseball.
Well, the name McMurtry is synonymous with Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Craig McMurtry grew up there, pitched there before he got to McLennan and then on to the big leagues, and now at Temple College. And there's been McMurtry's running through there. And I believe Craig's brother, uncle, somebody was a baseball coach there for a while.
Football coaches too. There's football coaches.
I mean, they've kind of built a dynasty there, and Steve has been able to just carry that on.
But I'll take it another step further. He's elevated what they've done as far as winning on the baseball side. Terrific job there. All right, we're going to step aside here. We'll come back, and we're going to kind of look ahead to what's going on as far as what's happening with these series and all those type of things as we get you set for what should be a fun midweek and weekend when it comes to high school softball and baseball and all the other things that's going on in the wide world of sports. We're brought to you today, as always, by our good friends at Benchmark Construction. David and his team, David and Christy and all those folks over there do a tremendous job. And you can check them out at benchmarkc3.com. You may be looking for new construction. You may have you may want to do some refurbishing to your place. You may want to add a room or something to that effect, or you may have had a water leak and now you got a problem, and they can take care of that as well. So they specialize in disaster recovery, construction, and of course environmental remediation, as well as indoor air quality solutions. Check them out today online at benchmarkc3.com. Great contributors to the community. I mean, they're always diving in and doing things with the Shriners and also the Hangar, which is a day shelter for the homeless here in the Waco area. It's Benchmark. You're going to like doing business with them. BenchmarkC3.com. And we're back.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
At Waco Bodyman Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodyman, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
All right, we are back here on the program as we roll along. Nice to have you with us. Our show, as always, presented by Toe King, Gary Hoffman and his team, the presenting sponsor of the program. Hey, by the way, I was just thinking about this during the break. If you miss something, and this is the beauty of what we do now, if you miss something, it's easy. You can go back and watch it. I know there was I talked to some people the other day that we're talking about Terry Cron. I mean, Brice Cherry brought up Coach Terry Cron and, winning the state championship at Mart, at Bartlett, at Commerce, starting a new school, and all those kind of things that he did in Mansfield. So we had him on one day last week, maybe even Friday, I think it was.
It was Friday.
It was Friday. So you can go back and watch that in its entirety if you so choose, or just you can scroll through and find the interview that we did with Terry. So that's the cool thing about what we do. It's there forever. It's on our channel, and you can go check it out. So I encourage you to do that. And I did it the other day. I said, you know what? What did we say? And just went back and looked at it. So kind of a cool thing. All right, Lark, what do we got? What do we got going on today?
Well, let's kind of go back to yesterday.
Okay.
There was a softball game and a baseball game that kind of finished off the next round of the playoffs.
I'm a little confused by that. I didn't think you could roll through a weekend into a Monday. I didn't think the UIL allowed that.
I think because all the rain last week, they might have given some,
like a waiver or something.
Yeah, dispensation, whatever. So anyway, yesterday at A&M Consolidated, Franklin knocked out Troy out of that particular playoff. 10-3 was the final there. So Troy's softball team is knocked out. And then over at Veterans Field in Waco, you had Mart and Frost playing each other for the right to meet Crawford in the next round. And Mart won that game. Right now, I'm not sure where Mart and Crawford are going to play there.
It's got to be around here.
I'm sure it's going to be probably back at Veterans Field. I don't know, but they'll find maybe even at McLennan. Yeah, sounds like a great place.
I think we ought to set that up for them.
Yeah, because McLennan's going to be out in Odessa anyway.
And they got lights.
Yeah, they got lights. They got turf. They got stands.
Let's go.
Concession stand. They got every parking. They got the whole 9 yards there. But anyway, everything gets pretty much underway on Thursday. There's a few Wednesday matchups. as far as softball goes, the only Wednesday matchup is Crawford playing Munster. They're going to be in Cleburne. I'm not sure what field they're going to be at in Cleburne, but that's going to be Wednesday at 6:00. On the baseball side, looking for a Wednesday matchup, Steve, Sebesta, and Troy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be playing Academy at Temple Junior College. Brand new turf there at the field there. They could probably use better lights than what they got, but they got lights. Well,
if you start at 6, you probably won't need lights.
Shouldn't. And then Groesbeck is playing Grandview. They're going to play in Alvarado, and they get that one underway at 6:00 on Wednesday. The SEC softball tournament gets underway today.
Okay.
But A&M doesn't play until tomorrow, and Texas doesn't play till Thursday.
Go figure.
Yeah, these tournaments that include the entire conference just overwhelms me a little bit. The Big 12 softball tournament doesn't start till Thursday. Of course, there are baseball games, non-conference baseball games tonight. Baylor is at Texas State.
Big game.
Yeah, for Baylor, it certainly is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they need a victory there. Texas Tech is hosting Dallas Baptist.
Big game for them.
Yeah, I mean, those are two teams that have been in the postseason quite often recently.
Not now, unless they win a conference championship.
Yeah, both of them are kind of struggling to get there this year. Houston is hosting A&M Corpus Christi. That's just playing out the string there.
Yeah, that's something. Hey, you know, let's get together and do something.
Yeah, we got nothing better to do on this Tuesday. Texas is at home against UTSA today.
And UTSA is a good club, a real good club.
If you'll remember, they beat Texas at UTSA earlier this year. And then A&M is playing Prairie View A&M today.
All right.
At home.
I know there was one thing I wanted to talk about.
And that is?
And I couldn't read my writing, quite frankly. You and I debated what I wrote down. And I wrote down ABJ. I did not write down ABJ. I wrote down ABS, automatic ball strike. The SEC men's baseball tournament is going to implement ABS like they have in minor league baseball and Major League Baseball.
Why?
Don't know. That's my question. Are we in favor of that or are we not in favor of that?
I've never been in favor of it. I mean,
it's more time. You got to take the time.
I'm sorry. Outfielders overthrow cutoff men. Pitchers throw wild pitches. Shortstops make errors. Why must umpires be totally infallible? Why?
Can't tell you, but that's
because we got 85 umpires in the stands that don't agree with what the one guy who's paid to do that job.
I don't think it has anything to do with the stands. I think it has to do with those two head coaches in those dugouts. But here's my thing: are we moving to a situation where we have 0 umpires on the field and it's all done electronically, technically?
But let's just do it like, do everything with AE Sports or whatever. Just do it all digital and we don't have any games on the field. Just run a full season and about, put it in a computer and run it through for 5 hours and then you're through with the season.
I don't know that I would want to be an umpire in today's baseball. You got Big Brother looking over your shoulder the entire 9 innings.
Yeah.
Why
am I here?
Yeah, let's review that call at first. Yeah. Let's review that umpire strike. Let's review. And here's my problem. And I've said this on the air 9 million times, and I'll keep preaching it. I know it's here and it's not going away.
Right.
Okay. But can we put some parameters on it? Can we say you have 3 minutes to review the play? And if you can't come up with a decision after 3 minutes of watching every angle known to mankind, that you just stick with the call that was made on the field?
I don't know if they need 3 minutes.
Well, I'm just saying 3 minutes because I'm tired of them going under the hood or whatever. And, and me running down to Circle K and getting a sandwich and coming back. And they're still under the hood looking. I mean, there are some that were just – and then we saw one this weekend, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox, get off my yard, But
I understand.
We had one where they reviewed it for a week and a half, and it was the simplest call, and they still got it wrong. They got it wrong. We had a call where a Red Raider was – awarded first base for being hit by a pitch. He was no more hit by a pitch than a man on the moon. It went under his arm, and he missed him by 2 baseball lengths. And they went and they sat in that review room for about a week and a half, took their shoes off, had a cup of coffee, came back out, and still upheld the call. They were wrong even after they reviewed it.
Yeah. So if you're going to be wrong, why even bother?
Exactly. Yeah. And why take 3 days to do it? I don't know. It just bothers me that it takes that long to go look at the video. All right. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to look ahead to I feel better. We're gonna look at the Wednesday show for you. We'll do that in just a moment. We're brought to you by Waco Bodymen, Thomas Wenzel, Todd Behringer, and their team. You can check them out. Visit WacoBodymen.com. That's WacoBodymen.com. They're in downtown Waco, 116 Mary, and man, they're open 7 days a week there, and they're gonna show you ways with technology where you can live stronger, healthier, and longer. It's Waco Bodymen.
When disaster strikes, you need a team you can trust. At Benchmark, we specialize in disaster recovery, construction, environmental remediation, and indoor air quality solutions. With over 30 years of experience, our experts provide forensic architecture, engineering, and environmental consulting to ensure every project is handled with precision and care. From damage assessment to full reconstruction, Benchmark delivers technical expertise and an unmatched client experience every step of the way. Visit benchmarkc3.com to learn more.
At Waco Bodymen Company, we help you take control of your health with advanced wellness and longevity solutions designed to help your body perform, recover, and thrive. Experience the power of red light therapy with our full body bed design to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, support skin health, and recharge your body at the cellular level. Step into our hydrotherapy room featuring a dry sauna, polar shower, and hot tub. Book your tour today. Waco Bodymen, open 7 days a week in downtown Waco.
Barfield Show Insurance, an independent agency with over 60 years of experience, wants to wish all moms a happy Mother's Day. Need auto, home, life, or business insurance? Contact Barfield Show today, 469-579-4982.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check him out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Is your roof ready for the next Texas storm? Don't wait for a small leak to become a big problem. Call JK Roofing of Waco. Whether you need roof repair, a full replacement, or a professional inspection, JK Roofing has quality workmanship and dependable service you can count on. Locally owned and committed to protecting Central Texas homes and businesses. Call JK Roofing today for your free estimate and get the job done right the first time. Call JK Roofing 254-744-2211. JK Roofing of Waco. Strong roofs, honest work, and peace of mind.
On the program tomorrow, we're going to have some fun. We got Shehan Jayarajas. Shehan is a writer for CBS Sports, and he's going to join us. Most of the time, he's covering football, but there's some other things that he'll dabble into, and we'll visit with Shehan Jayaraja, and we'll also visit with Kyle Yeomans from the Dallas Cowboys broadcast team, plus ESPN Plus and ESPN. Kyle's going to be working the Big 12 baseball tournament out in Surprise, Arizona. I'm going to see if I can talk Kyle into taking me to dinner. He's got all the money being on television.
And he doesn't have any money. He's got triplets, remember?
Well, that's right. Good point. So maybe I ought to take him to dinner. Yeah. Anyway, Kyle will be out there with us in Surprise, Arizona for the Big 12 tournament. We'll talk a little bit about that with Kyle coming up on the program tomorrow. All right, a lot of fun. Many thanks to everyone who's been a part of this program. Got to say thanks to Brice Cherry. Always great information. And to Steve Sebesta, wish him the best as they take on the Bumblebees of Academy starting tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. He's Lark. He's Lark. There you go. He's Lark. I'm Tom. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.